Hey y'all, it's Tracy with Mama's Comfort Cooking, and today I'm finna fry y'all up some corn, honey. Some fresh, fried, white, cream style corn. Nothing says summer like corn. So here's a little video, step by step. I hope you try it. I love you, yes I do. And you know what? Thank me later. See y'all in a little bit. Nothing says summer like fresh white corn on the cob. I want to show you how I'm going to turn this corn on the cob into some delicious fried cream style corn. I have some already in my sink right here waiting on you so that I can demonstrate how I take it from one step to the other. Very simple, very easy. Let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is remove the corn from the husk that it's in by simply pulling it away. Now don't be surprised sometimes if you find a few little friends in there, a few creatures that love to live inside of corn, like worms. But after you do it, you're going to have a lot of strings. So what our goal is to clean this corn very good before we start cutting it off the cob. Cutting it off the cob, you're going to cut it twice and scrape it the last time. The last scrape is the cream that's going to come and turn it into cream style corn. So let me do these for you, and we're going to go to the next step, which is cutting it off the cob. Once we rinse this really good, get all the strings off, then we're going to turn this into some delicious cream style corn, fried cream style corn, I should say. Open it up and pull it apart. Once you get it to this point, you want to make sure you can get all the strings that you possibly can off of the corn. Because you don't want that in your corn. And how do we do that? Simply by rinsing it off, getting it off every which way we can, taking your time, turning that water on, going through it. Rinse your sink out real good where you did pull it from. You're going to have strings all in here, as you can see. They will form up. Just pick them up from the bottom of your sink, throw it over in the trash pile, and keep cleaning your corn, getting all those strings off of this corn. Okay, we're going to go to the next step, which is cutting this corn. Come on in this sink and let me show you how I cut this corn off the cob. I cut it in my sink because corn on the cob can be messy. I'm using a bundt cake pan because it'll keep it in place. So what you want to do is cut your corn twice. Can you see me? So I'm going to cut it twice. The first time I'm going to cut, that's the first cut. You'll see the lines that are still in there. That's the second cut on this corn plus a scrape. So now I'm going to cut it again, kind of cutting it backwards for you to see. That's your first cut. Okay, that's your first cut. See how that first cut is? So what we're going to do is go around and cut a first cut all the way around, first cut. Okay, now let me show you your second cut. Off of this side, you have another whole cut. I'm trying to do it backwards for you. But there's another whole cut. There's another whole cut. Another whole cut. Once you complete all your cuts, let me cut it this way so I can make sure I get all my stuff off. Then you want to scrape this corn. You want to scrape it. That's where you're going to get your juice from to cream your corn. Okay? It's just like that. Let's do it again. We're going to cut this corn. That's what we call a first cut. I'm going to cut again right here so you can see a second cut. Here's a second cut. So your corn will be cut twice. You'll have tiny second cuts. Can you see that? And your first cut will look like that, like a whole kernel. The second set will look like the inside of a piece of corn. Okay. So let's keep cutting this corn. And we're about to take it, and we're getting ready to put it in the skillet. Remember, after you go around twice, you want to scrape it to get all that goodness off. Okay, we're getting ready to fry it. You're ready to fry? Let's get ready to fry. Okay, now it's time to start frying this corn. Let me show you. The fat back is ready. So we're going to take it out. It's completely done. This is going to be good to eat, honey, with this fried corn. We're going to go ahead and get as much of it out as we can. There's that one too. All right, now as you can see, if you look over into this skillet, it's seasoned. You see all that goodness from that fat back in the bottom? It's seasoned and it's waiting on this corn. I've cut up 15 ears of corn. Here's the corn. And we're getting ready to drop it. You look at this. That's the juice. That's the juice from the corn. And let's get this corn in here. We'll do a little at a time. Get this corn in here. I'm scraping it all the way around, y'all. Get all that goodness out. I use the self-split. That's the corn we cut up. Have a little more juice off that corn. I'm going to pour over from another bowl. See that juice? Just going to keep pouring the juice from the corn in. Now we're going to get started and let this corn begin to fry in the oil that we have it in. Once it gets to frying, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of sugar in here, some real butter, and some heavy cream. And this is how we're going to start it off. I'm going to make sure we get it started off cooking real good. I'm about to add 1/4 cup. This is a spoon. It's 1/4 spoon cup, okay, of sugar, because corn is bitter. I'm going to stir that in there real good. Next, I'm going to add some salt. Let it be to your taste. So I know I'm adding at least 1.5 teaspoons of salt just then. And you have a choice. You can use unsalted butter if you like, or you can use salted butter. I'm going to add some pepper in here. Everybody knows corn tastes good with a little pepper. And I'm going to let it continue to cook and bring the creaminess out of it. Then we're going to add heavy cream in here, some butter in here, and then we're going to use some cornstarch to thicken it and bring it together. You don't want to cook your corn too long, because you don't want corn to become hard and stiff and crunchy, but you want to still have a good texture to it. You want the crunch, and not a stiff crunch, but a great fresh crunch. So we're going to keep cooking. You see how that corn is bubbling now? You see all that cream that's coming out of this corn? You can see its own natural creams. Look at that. Coming out of the corn. That's what you scraped. So to this, I'm going to add 1 cup of heavy cream. 1 cup. Remember, I'm taking this corn and I'm creaming it. So I only used 1 cup. It's not going to take that much because it's making its own cream. I've cooked this corn on the stove now for about just 15 minutes. You don't want to cook it too long. Okay? So now I've added the creamer in there. That was 1 cup of heavy cream. So remember, let's do a run through before we add the thickening. So after we cut it and we cooked it in the fat bag, the fat bag had, I added 1/4 of a cup of oil to aid it. When it was done, I put the corn in. I put 1/4 of a cup of sugar in here, 2 teaspoons of salt and some pepper. Now, or 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Now I just added 1 cup of heavy cream. Not half and half, but I'm using heavy cream. So I added 1 cup, which is going to give me the creaminess that I need. Now I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and I'm going to put it in some water. So it's going to end up being about 1/4 of a cup when I get through. And that is what's going to turn this into a thick corn. That is our thickening. So we're getting ready to thicken it. It doesn't take long. We don't want to cook our corn too long. We'll make it tough. Adding the water to the thickener, it has made it be about 1/3 cup. So I'm going to pour that in there, just like that. And I'm going to let it begin to gather my cream. You can see how it's gathering it already. Look in there. Look at that thickening. Look how thick it just got. Look. Let me pick it up for you. Do you see that? It's not going to dry it out. It's still going to be creamy, but it won't be runny. It's going to be creamy, but not runny. Just takes a matter of seconds. Get your spoon. Give it one more stir. Look at that. Look at that. That's cream corn. All you gotta do is taste it. It's got to what? Bless it and stretch it. Woo-woo. That was hot and it was good. Get in there. Yeah. Thank y'all for watching Mama's Comfort Cooking. I love y'all. Yes, I do. There's some corn for you, y'all.